Thank you for joining Wars of the Roses, and this is High Priest of the Jews from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry by Albert G. Mackey. High Priest of the Jews. The important office of the High Priesthood was instituted by Moses after the completion of the directions for erecting the tabernacle, and was restricted to Aaron and his descendants, and was so confined until the time of the Asmonean dynasty, when it passed into the family of Judas Maccabaeus. The high priest was at the head not only of ecclesiastical but of civil affairs, presiding in the Sanhedrim and judging the people. He superintended the temple, directing the mode of worship and preserving the building from profanation. He was inducted into his office by anointment and sacrifices and was invested with a peculiar dress. This dress, as the rabbis describe it, consisted of 8 parts, namely the breastplate, the ephod with its curious girdle, the robe of the ephod, the mitre, the broidered coat, and the girdle. The materials of which these were composed were gold, blue, red, purple, and fine white linen. As these garments are to a certain extent represented in the vestment of a high priest of a royal arch chapter, a brief description of them may be expedient. The high priest was first clothed in a pair of linen drawers. Over this was a coat or shirt of fine linen reaching to his feet, and with sleeves extending to his wrists. Over this again was a robe of blue, called the coat of ephod. It was without sleeves, but consisted of 2 pieces, one before and another behind, having a large opening in the top for the passage of the head, and another on each side to admit the arms. It extended only to the middle of the legs, and its skirt was adorned with little golden bells and pomegranates. Above all these vestments was placed the ephod, which has already been described as a short garment coming down only to the breast before, but somewhat longer behind, without sleeves, and artificially wrought with gold and blue and purple and scarlet in embroidery of various figures. It was looped on the shoulders with 2 onyx stones, on each of which was inscribed the names of 6 of the tribes. On the front of the ephod he wore the breastplate. At solemn ministrations, a mitre of fine linen of a blue color. This was wrapped in several folds and worn about his head in the manner of a Turkish turban, except that it was without a crown, being open on top and sitting on his head like a garland. In front of it there hung down upon his forehead a square plate of gold, called the plate of the golden crown, upon which were inscribed the words, "Holiness to the Lord," which were engraved in the ancient Hebrew or Samaritan characters. The vestments of a high priest of a royal arch chapter are intended to represent, though the representation is imperfect, the gorgeous apparel of the Jewish pontiff. They are a mitre, breastplate, and a robe of 4 colors. To these the Masonic ritualists have ascribed a symbolic signification. The mitre teaches the high priest the dignity of his office. The breastplate, his responsibility to the laws and ordinances of the institution, and that the honor and interest of the chapter should be always near his heart, and the robe, the different graces and virtues which are symbolized by the various colors of which it is composed. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment, and if you can please consider donating to Wars of the Roses. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.